BMR4.com and BMR.com, boys. What is going on? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 90 of the Lobby Show. 10 more episodes, only a few more months until we hit that big episode number 100. Moving right along, though, we have first and foremost Reload. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, how you doing, guys? It's looking forward to the holidays here coming up, and a lot of sports action still on the board here.
Yes, for sure there is. And then moving right along, the man who looks like he just rolled out of bed with that hair and with that sweater, Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, Sammy?
You're just again another shot at the beautiful hair. You're just happy that this is higher than the length of your bottom side. Speaking of bottom, we got "Bye, Buddy. Hope you find your dad." From Elf, came, by Mr. Narwhal. One of my favorite ugly sweaters. But just like Reload said, holiday time means another great 3 days of eating. Can't wait. At the dealership, there's a ton of cookie platters every day. So, we're always eating nice at the dealership. Next week, my brother's in town, so we'll go out to dinner.
Sweet.
Christmas dinner with the family, Christmas Eve dinner. So excited for the meals and, of course, excited for all the action. Netflix, 2 games of action of NFL. There is 5 NBA games if anyone still watches the NBA. But, the NFL action is going to definitely take course next week.
Yes, definitely so. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Yeah, good time, man. Especially you have a really good NFL game tomorrow night. We'll see how entertaining it is, but at least on the board, it's a must-win game for both of those teams. Then you have Friday night college football playoffs, Saturday college football playoffs, Saturday NFL slate, Sunday NFL slate, right into next week. So if you love sports and you love football, these are certainly the next couple weeks to watch out for. So, and also, see under my name right there, I think you can read it. Eagles 12-2. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yes, it is a good time for sure. But Sammy, let's jump over to you. Let's talk some in-season tournament. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks on winning the in-season tournament. Not that it really matters, in my opinion, but did you catch any of the game?
Yeah, I mean, really, in reference to the in-season tournament, it's good for the 12th man on the team. It's good for the 11th man on the team. It's good for a bonus. Giannis doesn't care about the $500,000 bonus. The Stars of Oklahoma City that got like 200 and the change, they don't necessarily care about the money. But the guys
that hat for them.
Yeah, the guys that are on the bench that aren't even, they're the guys that play when you're up or down by 30. It's good for them. They basically doubled their salary. So in reference to the Milwaukee winning, I was looking at some futures today. They're still the 4th in the East as far as futures. So them winning this tournament, just keep in mind it was a single elimination tournament. So, you don't really get the series that you get during the real playoffs where it's 4 out of 7. One game could go either way, just like yesterday. Bucks were a 5-point underdog, come out on top. So congrats to them. And we'll see what happens for the rest of the season.
Yes, definitely so. Thank you, Sammy. Donnie, let's move over to you. Did you catch any of the game, and what do you think?
No, I didn't watch all that much yesterday, but I did go 1-1 in props. Just thinking about Giannis getting over 30.5, that loss, but Isaiah Hartenstein over 11.5 points, that cashed in. I think the NBA does itself a disservice with this tournament, if it makes sense, because, not I want to say it's action junkies is the right word, but NBA fans, if you are, they basically shut down the league for like 5 or 6 days just to ram this tournament in with 2 semifinal games and a finals game where, play the NBA Cup, but play the rest of the games as well. Give us full slates on every night to watch. It's almost like it was out of sight, out of mind at a time where we're worried about NBA ratings tanking. And quite frankly, I don't think the general public really cared all that much about the NBA Cup, let alone just getting it its own night and its own Saturday.
Right, exactly.
And now there's no games today.
It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, unfortunately, it does not. Reload, over to you. Did you catch any of the game? What do you think?
Yeah, I caught some of it. I think what you guys said is what I agree with too. It really just doesn't have any steam. Nobody really cares about it, and I actually think it's not going to last unless there's some contractual reason it has to. But I think, it just interferes with everything. Here we are, like you say, Wednesday night. What's a Wednesday night without a big slate of NBA games?
Yeah, come on.
It feels really unusual. And I do think you're going to see it affect things a little, like the Oklahoma City Thunder losing their last night on Tuesday. Now they have to fly with 1 day of rest, and they've got a back-to-back in Orlando and Miami. So it's not going to treat them too well there.
Right, exactly, for sure. Thank you, Reload. Sammy, let's jump over to you for our second here. Let's talk some college football this weekend, last weekend. How was it for you? What you have? And then Friday and Saturday, what do you got on tap for the weekend?
Yeah, we get time to the playoff season. We're into the playoffs for the college football for the first time,
Playoffs.
12-team playoff. But we do have some other bowl games. So tonight, actually in 20 minutes, you got your first kickoff, James Madison -7 over Western Kentucky. Tonight, UNLV versus Cal. But going into the playoffs, that's what everyone's looking for. You got one game Friday, 3 games on Saturday, plus 2 NFL on Saturday. What a great football weekend we're getting into. So individually, so I did 4 individuals, but really what I'm going to be doing is just a money line parlay on all the favorites. So if you just take all the favorites in a money line parlay, it pays plus 180. So, it gives you all day, 2 days of action at plus odds. You don't have to grind the daily. But if you're looking at the spreads, if I'm looking at them, I would take Indiana +7, Penn State -8.5, Clemson +12, and Ohio State -7. But again, for me, I'm just going to be taking all the money line favorites at plus 180, but super excited for round 1. And then we'll get into it.
Thank you, Sammy. Reload, let's jump over to you. College football. What do you got this weekend for us? And how did you do last weekend on it?
Yeah, I took a look at the bracket. I've been really following it closely as far as what I want to take there. First of all, I'm liking Ohio State minus the points. It's Tennessee. And I think it's going to be a big win for them. And I also like the Ohio State at plus 500 to win the whole championship. I think what you're going to see is them get a big win over Tennessee. The value will drop in the futures odds on them. So you might want to get on board with that now. And then I'm also going to take SMU plus the points against Penn State. I know SMU didn't look too strong against Clemson, but they have done well as an underdog this season in a couple of spots they had. And I think you give them a little time to get ready and get up there. Penn State's going to need more than a whiteout to beat them, I think.
All righty. Thank you, Reload. Donnie, over to you. College football. How was it for you?
Yeah, last week, thank goodness. And usually you just automatically take the Army-Navy game to the under. The game went over, so I stayed away from that. And I almost bet Bryson Daly at -390 for an anytime touchdown, going like, come on, if anybody scores on Army, it's going to be him. Didn't put the bet in, watched that game, was like, woo! Saved myself some money on that because he didn't score a touchdown, let alone Navy actually blew Army out. So this week, looking forward to the college football playoff. Here's what I love about this, too. The home field advantages are going to make a difference. And also keep in mind, 3 out of these 4 games are going to be played under freezing temperatures, which is something you rarely see in college football because the games are played late August, September, October, and early November. Then once you get to the end of November, it's typically you're looking at games and heading towards the conference championship games, all played in domes or typically nicer weather, and then into the bowl games. So I look at that Notre Dame-Indiana game. I think it's interesting. 51.5, I probably lean towards the under in that game, and I think the hook is going to be big there. If we're looking on Saturday, I also agree. If you take a look at the Penn State game, Penn State's probably going to win that game. We lay an 8.5 with James Franklin in a big game environment in cold temperatures when SMU's got a mobile quarterback. I would take the points in that game. Clemson, Texas, not all that interested. It's a high number, double digits. Don't have a great read, but then Tennessee, Ohio State, once it played in colder temperatures. I also lean most of these games towards the under. Playoff games, big atmospheres, and also keep in mind, some of these teams haven't played in a couple weeks. How rusty could they be at this point? We'll find out. But I'm interested in these games staying under the total for the most part. But the game I'm looking forward to the most, to be honest, probably Tennessee, Ohio State Saturday night. I think that's going to be an awesome atmosphere.
All righty, Donnie. Thank you. Speaking of awesome atmosphere, next week is Christmas, guys. We're going to be doing a show probably on the Friday of next week, so we are going to miss out on the Christmas show. But Sammy, let's jump over to you. What are your plans for Christmas? What do you got going on, buddy?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing we've been doing for 35 years, just going to the family. So on Christmas Eve, I'm going to my parents' house. We'll make some lasagna, and then just have some drinks with the parents, with the family, and hailing. And then on Wednesday, we'll go to a couple different various cousins' house, and then end at dinner.
Okay.
We have prime rib, twice baked potatoes,
Nice.
Various desserts and
Nice.
stuff like that. It's the Italian side of the family, so there'll be 3 bottles of wine, 2 bottles
Very
of
nice.
whiskey, all
Very
gone,
nice.
over the course of the couple of days. So it'll be a good time to eat and a good time to drink, just like Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yes, definitely
You
for
know, this
sure.
is not the time. This I think Thanksgiving and Christmas is the whole purpose for the New Year's resolution, because everyone gains
Correct.
5 to 10 pounds and they go,
Right.
oh, now I need to lose weight. That's what the gyms love.
Good business.
Exactly. Donnie, over to you. Christmas plans, buddy. What do you got?
I love Christmas, but again, in the business that we're in here, I got to wake up at 5 a.m. Christmas morning and drive up north to do a studio show, then come back home. So, yes, I love Christmas. Yes, I love football on Christmas, but I do have to work on Christmas. But still, you can't beat Christmas. It's the best all the way around. As Sammy said, you're eating on Christmas Eve, you're eating on Christmas Day, you're eating the day after Christmas, you're eating the weekend there, then you're waiting for New Year's to eat again. It is the eating of the holidays, and I love that part about it. So, I can't be too upset.
Exactly. And last but not least, Reload. Christmas plans. What do you got, buddy?
Yeah, that's right. Like Donnie is saying there, the money never sleeps on Christmas and sports betting world, especially sports betting media. As far as my plans, I've got family coming in from Costa Rica. They're flying in
Wow,
tonight,
very
actually.
nice. Very nice.
And we're probably going to have cook a ham at home. I just did a Costco run today too. Picked up a bunch of stuff there. So we're getting ready. It's going to be a good time.
Nice.
Very nice, man. Very nice indeed. You know, one thing I miss, about the holidays, not even so much the presents, but as I get older and I look back on Christmases and things like that, especially now with my grandparents gone and so forth, I miss the cooking, I miss the holiday baking, the cookies, and all that fun stuff. It's great memories, especially now that I'm in my 30s. I look back on it and I'm like, wow, I had some really great Christmases growing up, and unfortunately, grandparents are no longer with us. I'm out here in Vegas, so it's definitely a lot different for sure. But Sammy, let's jump over. Yeah, Sammy, let's talk for a second. BMR Awards show. I just want to go over one or two of the categories that we're going to be featuring. Carolina Kid Poster of the Year. I don't know yet who that's going to be. I have a couple options in mind, but I'm not 100% sure yet. BMR Rookie of the Year. I think that there's one poster and one poster only who has this award pretty much locked up. I'm not going to give any names away. I think we all know who I'm talking about, though. Sammy, what category are you looking forward to? And any teasers on who you think's going to win some of these?
Yeah, in reference to the honorable award, it's the NHL Capper of the Year.
God.
A huge mistake was made last year, and one of the biggest upsets on the board happened when Diggity didn't win it last year. But I think actually, in reference to Diggity, the one that's getting the most stir right now is the horniest poster. BMR's horniest poster. Now, Diggity has won this for about a decade straight. It's like Nadal on clay. Which is basically like a lock. But right now, I'm telling you,
no, I don't think it's a lock. I think Flying Illini is going to.
And I'll tell you the reason. I opened up my phone one day and I scroll onto and I type into a thread, and the thing that pops up is Bobby's rooster zoomed in right dead center in my screen.
Wow.
So if Diggity posts a lot of pictures of women and gifts and the left versus right thread. But Illini is offering money and sending money for people to post it on the forum. So, there's a lot to be said about that one. So the debate is clearly happening, and the thought process is there. But we'll announce the winners in a couple weeks. We got about 12 to 13 awards, and we're excited to hand them out.
Yes, it's going to be a good time for sure. Donnie, horniest poster of the year. Are you going to be in contention for that one?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be in contention for that one. But you know what? Like the Rookie of the Year. Like, I like to see the newcomers here around the sites here to see who takes down awards like that, to see who jumps in the mix. Like, you know what? That guy needs to be recognized, or that girl needs to be recognized for that big year by posting on the forums here. So a lot of good stuff here as it wraps up. So, yeah, it's a tradition around these parts.
It is for sure. Reload. I know you're just kind of coming on the forum, but I know there's a lot of names you're familiar with over the years. So, you have any thoughts on this topic? Horniest poster of the year. What are you thinking here?
Well, I always tend to lean to the old school guys, like JJ Gold. I've known him pretty closely.
Yes, I think we all do.
Yeah, really some of those guys that have been around the forums a long time. But like Donnie said, it's great when newcomers are around. I remember when I started in the forums back in the year 2000, it was on the prescription. That was my first one. And I was a newbie then too, and I fit right in and just made the rounds from there. So fun to see these awards, and hope we see some fun winners there.
Yes, there's definitely going to be. And, Reload, speaking of getting started, I remember back in the day, 2011, 2012, my first years across the street were a lot of fun over there. And then, as the years went on, I jumped into helping the one and only Peter Loshak with some of his video projects. SBR.TV, if you guys remember the Monday Night Live show with the HR Wager Girls. That was always a lot of fun with JJ and Loshak, and Judy Russell was on there for a little bit, so it was always a good time. Reload, I know you got some fond memories of that.
Yeah, I remember when we started all that, and it was really the first of its kind at the time. There wasn't really anything else going on, a live broadcast. It kind of filled the void right before Monday Night Football, if I remember right. And it was fun. Yeah, JJ be on there dancing around, and Loshak. I've done a lot with Loshak in those years too, and he was always great to work with. Yes. And yeah, it was was it the Rebate Wager Girls? I think it was.
Rebate Wager. Okay, yeah, yes, the Rebate Wager Girls. Yes, it was.
Yeah, and
they would always dance. They would always dance, and they would have a little hula hoop contest and stuff like that. It was a good time. It was a good time for sure. We gotta get something like that going. We really do. That would be great. I'm gonna have to talk to some people, because getting something like that going again would.
Are you gonna be hula hooping for us, Bobby?
I am not going to be. Not going to be hula hooping, Sam. I might break something at my age.
Gotcha. How about just some jump roping then? Maybe some slow motion jump roping video for Flying Illini. He'll love it.
Oh wow!
There's a lot of things Flying Illini would love. He wants me to naked jump rope for him, but that's a completely different topic. Moving right.
I used Rebate Wager until they stopped giving me rebates. So.
Yes, Rebate Wager.
Are they still around at all?
No, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Wow.
We could talk for a minute. Old books. WSTX, World Sports Exchange.
Bet Jam.
Bet Jam.
Bet Jamaica, yeah.
Bet Jamaica.
There's a lot of them back then, yeah.
What was the credit one? I was about to say
credit wagering or HR. Credit wagering.
Yeah, they used to.
Credit wagering.
Was that the one where they posted your like?
They got the stiff list.
Yeah.
I think the one and only Brock Landers is on that stiff list.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
A lot of people.
We had that list going.
Stiff list.
And they used to send out the photos, and I think even their IDs and things like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They do that.
Yes. Yes, there was a lot of great books back in the day. Sammy, speaking of great books, let's get your take on the closed books. Bet Phoenix, Bet Mania. We can go on, but
even 5 times, yeah.
5 times, yes,
yeah.
5 times. Give me your top book from back in the day that's no longer.
I was about to say what Donnie just said was 5 times. That was the book I remember in college.
R.I.P. Tony. R.I.P. Tony.
Yeah, sending money, through
Western Union, MoneyGram, five or six middle names.
Yeah,
$50 to cash out. Tough
Green Dot or something like that. There's
Green Dot, yes. Green Dot, yes.
And I remember getting some phone calls for who is this person that you're sending it to? And I'm just like, oh, it's a friend. And this, 4 middle names and stuff like that. Yep. Real sketchy stuff. Now it's so easy. It's, Bitcoin on, Bitcoin off, debit card, credit card. It goes right in, out, out. It's so much easier than any of the sketchy stuff we used to have to do.
Exactly. And God forbid you get limited or banned from MoneyGram and Western Union.
Oh, yeah.
NetTeller. Reload, I know you remember NetTeller back in the day.
Yeah. NetTeller, I used to use for payouts all the time. Got some big payouts through them, but I was actually banned by Western Union. I still am to this day.
Wow.
I was banned. Yeah, I think it was right around 2006. It was the day of the Seahawks Steelers Super Bowl, and I got the call from them, and I was banned, and I haven't been able to use them ever since.
Wow.
Yep. So that's one memory I still have. Yeah, as far as the old books, MVP Bets was my first one ever. That was in the year 2000, I signed up with them, and I couldn't wait because like they had this nice welcome deal. You got like the sports pager. Remember the sports pagers?
Yeah, sports page
The
was
beepers.
great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
That was a
sports
must for me in
beepers.
those days. I didn't even have internet in my house yet until 2008, I
Wow.
think. So it was fun having the beeper and get all the scores and the spreads on it. I had some other ones too. You know, the Greek I was with for a
The
long
Greek,
time.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we all used them. Carib Sportsbook, I think that was
Yeah.
my third one. And Pinnacle, of course.
Of course.
Used them quite a bit, as well as Five Dimes.
Donnie, over to you. Sportsbook back in the day that is no longer.
Yeah, BetJam and Five Dimes, but the one I think most of us grew up on here was, I think it was sportsbook.com, just a regular.
Yeah.
I mean, they were massive back in the day.
Yes.
And I remember trying to wait on getting cash outs from them when they were flooded and they were weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks behind. My favorite story about that is I kept pestering them on a payout, and they actually doubled the payout and sent me
Really?
2 checks instead of 1 because I guess they were so flooded they just couldn't keep up. And they
Wow.
were sending it out. So that was sort of like a
Wow.
parting gift, I guess, from back in the day. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah,
amazing.
I was with sportsbook.com quite
Yeah.
a while too. They even
Yeah.
invited me to a party in New York City once with
They were
Brooke
big.
Burke. Yeah, Brooke
Yeah,
Burke
they
was
were
there. I
big.
got to meet Brooke Burke, get my photo with her. And they were pretty good to me in those years. They sent gifts to my
Yeah.
house. They sent a North Face
Oh.
backpack, and
They used to
they
send
sent
me
all
beers
kinds of
all the
things to
time,
me.
reload with. Yeah, they send a lot of stuff at sportsbook.com.
You know what?
Yeah,
Nobody.
they were really into the direct marketing. They had
Yeah.
magazines. They had
Yep. Yes, they
really
did.
everything. And for me, they were good with payouts. I never had any trouble.
Yeah.
Got money in and money out pretty easily with them. So they did treat me pretty well. I was with them a good 3-4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody does that anymore, guys. As you can see, nobody sends out,
Yeah.
gifts anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
still
it.
remember getting the NFL calendars. I think it was,
Yep.
I want to say it was Don Best that sent them out
Yeah.
for a long time. You don't even get them anymore.
Nope.
I don't need to.
Yeah. I used
So
to
they
like
just
getting
give you
the
shares.
schedules in
Yeah.
the mail.
Yes, yes.
If
Yes.
not, at least a yearly calendar or something.
Yeah.
You know, the yearly calendar, and then the sports schedules. Yeah. Don Best schedules. And
Yeah, yeah.
the last place I remember doing it was BetUS. I got a few from them maybe in the last few years, but didn't see anything this year. So
Good times for sure back in the day. Definitely some good
Yeah.
times. But circling back around, Sammy, NFL week number 14. Let's get a review from you. How was it?
Yeah. So last week it was kind of interesting. I went 5-2, but I only had 19 points because I lost my 5 and my 3,
Those
which goes
confidence
back to what we
picks.
say every
Yep.
week in reference to the confidence. He did have one guy at 7-0, CP 7-0, 28 points.
Very
TT
nice.
Warrior 6-1, 27. Then you had 4 guys tied at 25, 007, TikTok, Air Force Blue, and Haas Wilbur. And we're coming down to the final 3 weeks of the season. 3 players up on top. You got CP 257, TT Warrior 258, and 007 266. Now, if you just heard those names, it's because they were the top 3 for week 15. So the leaderboards for the whole year were also the leaderboards for week 15. It's a battle between those 3 guys, and we'll see what happens in the final 3 weeks. Only 9 points separates. Donnie, I see you're flirting with 13th. Maybe get there for the
Trying
top
to get in the
10.
10s. Yep.
And I'm sitting there just hoping for a glory 7-0 week. But again, I did good last week, but I only scored 19 points for the contest.
All righty. Reload, over to you. Week 14 in the NFL. How was it for you?
Yeah, I ended up having a losing Sunday there. I had lost with the Browns and the Titans in the early games.
Uh-huh.
But we did get a nice winner with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Chargers, the late game. They ran away with that one. And that saved my week, even though it was a losing Sunday. Nice to end strong.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. And last but not least, Donnie, week 14. How was it for you?
Yeah, contest-wise, 4-3, but I did win my 7, 6, and my 5, so it sort of helped me out there trying to make that surge into the top 10. Thursday night, didn't win any money. Sunday, sensational. Monday, didn't win any money. So hopefully this Thursday, we start to win the money again, because it seems like it's every other day for me right now. So looking forward to this week. Last week was great Sunday, but outside of that, wasn't too hot.
All righty. Thank you, Donnie. Sammy, let's jump over to you. Week 15 in the NFL. What do you got and what's on your 7?
Yeah, so I think we're week 16. I think we're a week behind. So week 16. Yeah, so like Donnie mentioned, tomorrow night, great football game. I'm not going to take anything pregame, maybe look for something live, but Saturday definitely going to be taking some of the games. The Houston Kansas City game, it's really depending on if Patrick Mahomes is playing or not. So in terms of the contest, Houston is favorite. So if Mahomes plays, you've got to take Kansas City on the contest. If he doesn't play, maybe then take Houston. But I definitely love Baltimore to beat up Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh beat them at home the first time, but it was an all field goal game. So Baltimore offense just wasn't there. I definitely think that if Baltimore offense scores some touchdowns this week, they'll have no problem covering the -6 versus Pittsburgh. And then rolling into Sunday, you got to take one of the hottest teams, two of the hottest teams. You got to take Philly -3 on the road divisional matchup. That should win them the division over Washington. And then Buffalo -14 over New England. Who's stopping that Buffalo train? Josh Allen, the clear MVP this season. Buffalo still has an outside chance at the number 1 seed if Kansas City can get a couple losses, but they shouldn't have any issues beating up on New England. Jumping ahead just to talk about another game that they should beat up is Green Bay -14 Sunday night, or I think that's Monday Night Football over New Orleans. But another team that's a double-digit favorite that should have no problem. Green Bay in the toughest division right now in football. Going to end up getting a wild card, but they're going to be a tough road game, maybe against Tampa Bay or something like that. They're going to be a tough out, but Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit battling in that division. Vikings got to stay clear, got to compete with Green Bay and Detroit. So I like the Vikings -3 over Seattle, Arizona -4 over Carolina. And then, and that was the last one in there.
All righty. Thank you, Sammy. Reload over to you. Week 16, week 16, excuse me. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the underdogs again. I know I went 1-2 last week that way, but I'm going to step in with 3 underdogs again here. I do like the Steelers +6 on Saturday. They're going to be a close game with the Ravens, which is pretty typical with those teams. The number's a little high there. So we're going to go Steelers there. I'm going to take the Browns +7.5 against the Bengals. Bengals-Browns, usually underdogs is the way to go in that one. Over a lot of years. So we're going to go there. And then also the Seahawks +3. I know the Vikings have been hot, but I'm going to go against it here and look for the Seahawks to win that one or keep it within 3.
All righty. Thank you, Reload. And guys, tonight's your last chance to get in BMR Poker, your last and final opportunity to win a seat into the Poker Tournament of Champions event. So make sure you get involved. Right now, there's only 6 guys in there. I want to see plenty more than 6. So get in there, get some baller coins, get that Tournament of Champions ticket, and win some free coins. Last but not least, Reload. Donnie, over to you. Week 15 in the NFL. What do you got?
Should be
16,
pretty
excuse me.
schedule here again, starting on Thursday. Saturday, I do think Kansas City is going to win that game against the Houston Texans because it looks like Mahomes, who's practiced for 2 straight days, is going to play. And also keep in mind, Houston's sitting there at 9-5. They're probably not going to be able to move up and improve their actual standing in the AFC. So they win the division. They're automatically in the playoffs. Kansas City needs every game to try to stay up top of that 1 seed. I'll take them with the 2.5 here at this point. Now, if Mahomes is out, that does change, but it looks like he's trending towards in. We'll go with that. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens at home -6.5 against Pittsburgh. And yes, I understand this series is always usually close, but I got to tell you, if George Pickens, who didn't practice today, is not going to play this weekend, you got to be able to throw the football if you want to beat the Baltimore Ravens. And you saw the Pittsburgh Steelers couldn't throw the football without George Pickens against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Baltimore can win that by a touchdown, but if Pickens is back, that could change some things. I'll take the Indianapolis Colts over Tennessee. They are dead in the water, Tennessee, and Indianapolis still trying to fight for a playoff spot. So trying to play those angles where one team is dead, one team is still alive, I do think has some merit. The Arizona Cardinals, same thing. The Carolina Panthers, who played really good football over the past couple of weeks, sank to a new low against the Dallas Cowboys as they were hammered last Sunday. I'll take Arizona even on the road, and I'll lay the 4.5 points. Also, Sammy said, Philadelphia Eagles -3.5 against Washington, a physical game against the Steelers. This is a tough game for the Eagles on the road, but it's only 3.5 points. You're basically just picking them to win in all intents and purposes. Colder temperatures, lean on Saquon Barkley. I think the Eagles pick up the victory and get that cover. Also, I'm going to take Seattle early in the week, getting to 3.5 points, but I do want to make sure that we have our starting quarterback in the lineup here for the Seattle Seahawks. If he doesn't go, Geno's got to start. If he doesn't, I'm going to take that out of the equation. But also, Jacksonville on the road against Las Vegas. Las Vegas stinks out loud. Give me Jacksonville and give me the Mac of all Macs at quarterback, Mac Jones, to lead the Jacksonville Jaguars to a victory there. That's how I'm leaning for this week's games, boys.
All righty, Donnie, thank you. And once again, BMR, have a Merry Christmas, safe and happy holidays, and we will see you all on the forum.
Merry Christmas.
See ya.